Shortly after 8 a.m., we received a dispatch of a missing person. I was only about 4 blocks away from the house where I was dispatched to meet with Miss Neely. Upon my arrival, she explained that she had not heard from or seen her daughter, Tiffany, since the previous day. All calls to her cell phone were going unanswered.
Tiffany's mom was very anxious because this was just so not normal.
The text messages that we received indicated that Sam Littleton was the last individual to speak with her. We learned Sam Littleton was Tiffany's mother, Deb Neely's boyfriend. They'd been together for 15 years, and Tiffany, of course, always knew Sam. So there was a parental relationship there with him. We had tried numerous times to get in contact with him. We couldn't locate Sam anywhere.
They had asked Deb if they could take a look around the house.
Detective Salyer and I went down the basement and took a look around. There was an area of the basement that was covered in debris. We started taking everything apart down there. That's when Tiffany's body was located. The body was partially clothed and wrapped in a large piece of carpeting. The apparent cause of death seemed to be a knife wound to the neck. There was multiple stab wounds and other indications of maybe asphyxiation. At this point, it was pretty clear to us that Deb had no involvement.
Sam Littleton became the prime suspect, and now he's missing.
Richard and Gladys Russell were an elderly couple that lived just outside the city of Bellefontaine. One of the neighbors had gone to the Russells' house and noticed that their vehicle was missing from the garage. They continued the investigation, and they were able to find a notepad. Mrs. Russell was very good at taking notes and keeping records, but there was no other entries made after the 16th. Looking into the notepad, we found it had the name Sam written on it, and underneath the name Sam was Sam Littleton's cell phone number. Now that we know that there's a connection, we're extremely concerned. We believe that he's probably in their vehicle and might have the Russells with him.
37-year-old Samuel Littleton is wanted for the murder of 26-year-old Tiffany Brown of Bellefontaine, Ohio, and linked to the disappearance of an elderly couple, Richard and Gladys Russell. A desperate plea from the family of a murder suspect.
We need you to come in. Just turn yourself in.
The suspect's father is clearly overwhelmed with emotion.
They began searching the area not too far from the store where the car was parked. They found Sam Littleton. He suddenly fled from them.
As when we continued our search, we found he had built a makeshift cave.
Basically a primitive camp where he had been hiding out.
After maybe an hour, Sam Littleton was apprehended by a West Virginia State Police K-9.
The fugitive had been on the run since February the 18th. Littleton was taken to a local hospital before being transported to the state police barracks in Princeton.
Sam, obviously, we've got a million questions for you. And we realized, through this investigation, things went really wrong at some point. We just ask that you help us out, help yourself out, man.
I really don't know how it got started. I think evil thoughts all the time.
Evil thoughts all the time?
All the time. I mean, that's why I keep myself away from people.
Okay.
I mean, there ain't 1 minute that I don't sit here and think about how to snap somebody's neck, crush their head. I mean, there's many, many times I could have just cut my stepmom up Why would people think of that? I deserve to die. I deserve to die.
You need to feel better about yourself, and the only way you're ever going to do that is to tell what happened. And all three of us know that you're a smart enough guy that you know exactly what happened. Is this something easy to talk about? Absolutely not.
I'm trying to make him feel like we believe he's a good person. He's got to be comfortable with us. He's got to think that we like him. If we like him, he's going to like us.
See, remember, the very first thing that you told us when we sit down was, I deserve to die for what I've done. That tells us you know what you did. Can you tell me what happened with Tiffany that day?
Right, Chad.
You gonna get sick?
Yeah.
Need some more water too, or?
Please.
I've never had a suspect get physically ill during an interview before. He doesn't want to relive that event. He just doesn't want to talk about those things because it makes him physically ill. Everything about him is telling us that he just wants to give up. We spoke to Sam's father before to let him know what we were trying to do. He was there to get Sam to tell us exactly what happened.
Mr. Littleton, you can have a seat there.
Sam, I love you. I didn't mean to bring this all on you. I don't know why. I don't know why. I wish you'd have come to your daddy with it. Years ago, boy. I'm just tired. I'm just tired. I don't mean to bring this on you, but this is probably going to be the last time I get to see you, so. I know it. And these guys probably went out of their way just to have you come in here.
Having the father in the room there may have been a turning point. Sam was talking with us more freely. It seemed like he wanted to tell his dad, but he didn't know how to tell his dad.
I'm so sorry, Dad. I know it. And I hope.
Absolutely.
Sam, are you okay with that? I love you.
Pretty sore, Sam.
Mommy and I would.
I'm going to be as direct as I can possibly be. Regarding Tiffany, how did you kill her?
I think I strangled her.
Okay. Any other type of weapon that you used?
I think I might have stabbed her once or twice.
And the Russells, did you strangle both of those two?
I mean, I'm strangled. I ain't for sure.
Can you tell us if it was after you left the house or whether it was still there at the house?
I think it was at the house.
We finally got his confession that he killed them. At this point, the only thing we don't know is exactly where the Russells are located.
Sam, is there any way we can recover their bodies?
Railroad tracks and a cotton field.
Railroad tracks and a cotton field. Do you think one body is by the railroad tracks and one by the cotton field, or do you think?
Yeah.
Outside of Chattanooga, Tennessee, local law enforcement were able to find the remains of Dick Russell. He was next to some railroad tracks covered in debris. A week later, Gladys Russell was found in Georgia. He had laid Gladys in a cotton field a few hundred miles south of where Dick Russell had been located. We have mixed emotions. He never gave us the exact reason why things happened, why he decided to kill the Russells, and why he decided to kill Tiffany, and I'm sure it haunts her family to this day.